everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hello if you're new here, it's lovely to have you and I hope you choose to stick around and subscribe. It's completely free and entirely up to you. It just means I pop up in your subscription boxes every time I upload a new video. On to today's video, and you can probably tell by the title, this is part 2 of my Q&A. I did mention in part 1 that I just rambled too much and I basically needed to split it down into 2 parts. So today I am bringing you the second part. Also, excuse how I look. I have just been watching My Oxford Year, I think it's called, on Netflix, and whoa, if you haven't watched it, once you finish watching this video, head over to Netflix and watch it. You will not be disappointed. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this Q&A and I'll see you all again next time. How do you stay positive and grounded in mum life and content creation? I would like to answer this question, but in all honesty, I mean, I do stay very much grounded. I think when you're a mum, life is very grounding. And you can be on the absolute cloud 9 and something will happen and you will be brought right back down to earth. In terms of being positive, I struggle because the workload can sometimes be so big. Like, I recently did a campaign with Small and you would have seen like a minute and a half video, I think, something like that, you know, so it doesn't look much, but the work that went into it, like the planning, the filming the right angles, the product placement, the editing together, the finding the music, the making sure that you fit the brief, sorting out a caption, sending it to brands for approval. Like, the workload is a lot more than what it looks from a video. So I definitely think that can be a little bit draining, and I do struggle to stay positive sometimes, especially if I've got a lot of work coming in or I have taken a break. When we did the Lincolnshire vlogs, I stupidly took a break. So then I suddenly had a huge workload. It wasn't a break that you would have seen, but I still filmed, but I just didn't edit or upload anything in advance. So it meant that I suddenly had like to edit together, upload, sort out thumbnails, descriptions, titles, all sorts that goes into making these videos 2 hours before they went up, which is super stressful because I like to get them up on time. It feels like a little challenge, you know. It feels good to get it up on time. So yeah, I wouldn't say I've been the most positive recently, but I am filming in advance, so I've just got to remember to keep filming, keep editing, keep uploading, and then hopefully if I'm on a roll, it won't matter so much. Especially because I would quite like to do Vlogmas again this year. Like, when I think of Vlogmas last year and the year before, like preparing to have Nelly, and then last year being Nelly's first Christmas, I feel like I've got a vlog this Christmas, you know. So I would like to do Vlogmas, but I feel like I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, and if I find it a struggle or that I'm not staying positive on the whole throughout the year, then realistically Vlogmas isn't possible because I want to enjoy the moment at the same time. So that's what I'm telling myself. I've just got to keep on an even keel and keep at it, keep working, and yeah, who knows. That VE Day vlog was so emotional. What inspired you to make it? I don't know what inspired me to make it, I'm not gonna lie. I just had this like overwhelming sense of I really wanted to create a video that was like a tale of 2 parts, in a sense. I had this idea that I wanted to just do a normal day in the life vlog, but where I didn't speak to the camera. I just got on with my day, a normal day, and at the same time have a voiceover that paid tribute to that generation. And I know it made a few people cry, and I'm sorry, but I just had to do it. It's one of my least watched videos, which is such a shame because, again, the amount of work and time that went into it. Like, I was sorting out the voiceover, planning, filming, the whole lot over several days in amongst mum life, and it makes me sad that it's not a well watched video, but at the same time I'm so proud of doing it. And the people that have watched it, like the feedback that I've got has been amazing. So many people said they really enjoyed it. So many people said that it actually made them stop and think about how lucky we are today, especially with everything that's going on in the world as well, because not everybody has that lucky lifestyle at the minute around the world. And I think as well, the main reason I wanted to do it this year as opposed to the next big milestone or like the last big milestone is not only did it just feel right, but I feel like it's the last big milestone in reality that you're going to have veterans around for. And I'm not saying veterans have watched it, because I doubt they have, but I feel like once the veterans have gone, the topic is gonna be off of people's radars. Like, it's still gonna be on the radar of like history buffs, or, you know, people that have a strong connection, be it a family member maybe was a fighter pilot, or, you know, various different things like that. But I feel like once the veterans have gone, it's not necessarily going to be a forgotten war, but I think it's going to be a quieter affair. So yeah, I felt like I wanted to make the video, and yeah, I'm so glad I did. And like I say, I'm so proud of that video and how it turned out. Yeah. What's one thing you've learned about yourself since becoming a mum? I've learned that I've got patience I didn't know I had. Like, you could ask my family, I've never been the most patient person in the world. But having a baby and now a toddler, more so a toddler I'd say, definitely makes you slow down and have patience, because we're in the stage of Nelly wants to do it. She won't let anyone else do it. Nelly wants to do it. But it's 10 times slower than what you would do it. But Nelly wants to do it, so Nelly has to do it. If you're a toddler mum, you'll know exactly what I mean. So yeah, I'd probably say it's the patience, because I was not patient at all. And now I am, to a certain extent, in certain situations anyway. So yeah, I'd probably say that, paired with also just how strong I am. Not physically, don't get me wrong, I'm not strong physically at all. But just in terms of, despite the fact that I can feel absolutely dead on my feet, be it a cold, be it having not slept for like 48 hours, whatever the cause, I still have that inner strength to make sure that Nellie's all right, to make sure that Nellie's fed, to make sure that Nellie's happy and clean and comfortable. And yeah, which surprised me, because I wasn't sure that I would have that inner strength, but I think most mums do. I'd say 99% of those mums do. And I mean, if you're pregnant and thinking, how on earth am I going to cope? You will cope. You'll be absolutely fine. Things may fall off along the way. You know, your to-do list may sit there for 6 months and not get done, but you will survive and you'll get there. What fills your cup when mum life is getting a bit much? 5 minutes peace, I would say, and a hot cup of tea. It's very rare that I get a hot cup of tea. It's usually if we go and visit Ash's parents, to be honest, then I get a nice hot cup of tea. I haven't got to the stage of warming it up in the microwave yet, but I'm probably going to end up doing that at some point. But yeah, I'd probably say that is what fills my cup. Do you ever get burnt out with filming, editing and mummying all at once? I kind of spoke on this in the previous question a minute ago. Definitely. I go through phases. It's like I'm on a 3 or 4 week cycle. I'd say 2 weeks of that I'm pretty spot on it. I remember to promote my videos, my blog posts, things like that. I get a lot of engagement. I put in a lot more effort, I think, and it shows. Sorry if I'm out of puff as well, I've just run back up the stairs. And then Week 3, I would probably say I completely fall off the bandwagon, and be it I take a break or life is full on that week or whatever. And then week 4 is kind of like, oh my god, scrambling to catch up, scrambling to get a video up, scrambling with a campaign that I'm going to be working on, like that kind of thing. So I definitely say I get burnt out, and we've noticed that it's definitely a cycle of, yeah, my life really. So yeah. What's your favourite way to reset or unwind when you get a rare moment to yourself? I spoke about this with the Q&A, I think, with Ash, and I've also spoken about it in other Q&As. Since we moved here, me time is non-existent. Absolutely non-existent. Like, obviously I have showers, but I think I've only had like 4 or 5 baths since we moved here. And I mean, we moved in last September, October time, so you know, it's been a long time. But if I did get the chance, it would probably be to lie in the bath with some nice bubbles and my book and just switch off from everything for like an hour, even if I've got to top the water up again. Yeah, just not have mum life, just not have being a partner, thinking about the house, work, whatever. Just sit in the bath and chill. Like, because I don't tend to take my phone in the bath when I do get to go in the bath. I leave it like in the bedroom or something, so like nothing is distracting me, and I can just get into like a good juicy book. So yeah, I'd probably say that, to be fair. I do try and get little snippets here and there, like I've started doing some face masks on the rare occasion that Nelly actually goes to bed at a normal time. But normally I'm doing other stuff at the same time. You know, like I'm normally either working on like Kelly Aviation stuff or on my mainstream stuff. Or I'm doing a little bit of housework, or I'm tidying the toys with a face mask on. Like, heaven forbid if I forgot about it and answered the door, because I probably would give someone a heart attack. But yeah, I think it's about finding those little pockets of time sometimes. But I definitely need to get better at it, because I used to be so good when Nelly was a baby, when she didn't move and she didn't need as much entertaining and she slept a lot more. You know, those glorious days when there was like 4 or 5 nap times in a day. Oh, what memories. Now I'm struggling to get Nelly to have one. Yeah, it's difficult. How do you stay present with your family while still documenting everything? I feel like I'm a person of two halves. First of all, before we get into the two halves, I'd say it becomes a lot easier when we're on days out and things, because I can just film little snippets and put them all together in a montage, as you would have seen like on the days out that we do. Again, with the holiday vlogs, I filmed more content out and about, just filming the content rather than sitting chatting and showing the evenings or like our downtime kind of thing, which I would like to get better at, filming some of those moments, because yeah, I'm not the best at that. I used to be, but it's just, there's a lot on, and by the time you get home and then you're thinking about food and naps and bath times and play times and stopping the daughter from jumping off of something she shouldn't, I forget to pick up the camera and film that, you know, the normal bits. But as I say, I feel like I'm a person of two halves, where I film during the day. It might be a morning routine, it might just be a day in the life, or just snippets of my day. And then it gets to about when Ash is due home and I just don't film anymore. And you will have seen it in day in the life videos particularly. It gets to like mid-afternoon and the vlog stops. There's not really any show of cooking tea, having a laugh with Ash. Like, he picked up on it quite a lot, and he, you know, he's like, you might as well be single because you never show me. Like, and obviously he's here in the background, but I do tend to stop filming in the afternoon. So yeah, I suppose that's how I've got the balance. But it's maybe not working in the right way. So I think I need to change that. It's a difficult one. I'm either like filming or I'm mum almost, and I can't seem to marry the two up. So yeah, if anyone's got any tips on how to do it, then please let me know. Do you ever get nervous filming in public or at events like the Devon County Show? Yes, I do. I get so nervous. I can't speak to the camera. I was getting better at it before I got pregnant. I was getting better at it, but I just, yeah, it's easier. It's going to sound really, really stupid, but it's easier if I've got sunglasses on, because then I'm not making eye contact with anybody that's looking at me like, what is she doing? But yeah, I just don't do it. And maybe that'll be my challenge for the next time, is to just film an actual full day out and talk to the camera. And because at the end of the day, the people that are looking at me weird aren't going to see me again, other than maybe they might stumble across my video and then realise what I was actually doing. So yeah, it's very much mind over matter, I think, and I just need to bite the bullet and get better and just put myself out there, I think. Any advice for someone who wants to start a family vlog channel? Just do it. Just absolutely start the channel. I would say before you upload any content, well, before you even create the channel, I would think about what direction you want to go in. I'd think about the types of things that you want out there for the world to see. It sounds a bit, I don't know what the word is, but it sounds a bit funny to say, but just imagine that you are at the level of subscribers and people knowing who you are as like the likes of Zoella or someone like that, with that huge following, millions of eyes on you, on your family. What do you want those people to know and to see and to witness? What do you want those people not to know and it to be kept behind closed doors? I'm not saying that your channel is going to grow to that scale, you know, it might, and fair play if it does, but I just think if you don't want millions of people knowing something about you, don't put it out there. It's like simple things like set up an actual dedicated email address so that that account's separate, like for your YouTube, I guess, and like social medias related to that. Don't have your like private, like the phone bill comes through on that and like things like that. Like keep it separate, keep it as like a work email kind of thing. But yeah, definitely sit down and think about what you want put out on the internet. Like I knew from the very beginning I didn't really want to show like Nelly eating, really. Like obviously trying baby foods and things is slightly different, but like I wouldn't film her eating sat down at a table. I wouldn't film her having a bath. Like they're things that we chose not to put out there, because once they're out there, they're out there. Even if you take it down, you don't know if someone screenshot something, you don't know if somebody's used that screenshot in the wrong way. Yeah, it's a hard one, but just think about the implications, especially as a family channel. A family channel can get an amazing following, but you know in that following there could potentially be people that aren't honest, aren't respectful, and aren't watching for the right reasons. So not to put you off in any way, but just, yeah, think about your audience and think about your family safety. Do you have any tips for surviving camping or caravanning with a toddler? Well, we managed to survive. That's the first thing. I'd say definitely have like a travel cot or a playpen or something of that nature. I told you that playpen's going to make an appearance a lot of times, because it was so beneficial when we rocked up to just put Nelly with some toys in the playpen whilst we set up. Because to try and set up without a playpen in a lot of campsites would have been horrendous. We were lucky in a sense that it wasn't too bad, but we let her out to start with while we were setting the playpen up and getting the toys, etc. And she was trying to like put her fingers in the plug socket, you know, the camping, I don't even know what you call it, like plug. It was like 4 plugs that you then plug your caravans into. Yeah, she was trying to get into them basically. She was off trying to get under someone else's caravan. I don't even know who the person was. It wasn't like it was ours, you know, or like a friend or something. It was a stranger. So yeah, I definitely say something to contain them. It sounds bad to say it, but in the same way that you would put a dog on a lead, you need some way of containing the child whilst you set up, whilst you unhook your car, whilst you fill up the aqua roll. Like, yes, by all means, if you're able to, take them with you to fill up the aqua roll and things like that, but just your basic setting up, tidying up, because you can guarantee something's fallen out of a caravan cupboard, for example, or putting up your tent. Like, you can't concentrate on that and look after a toddler. So unless you're going to divide and conquer, put them in a pen. Other than that, I would probably say just accept that like nap times and bedtimes and bed routines and things like that are just going to go out the window because there's too much going on. They're not going to settle straight away. In the end, we just gave up, and I think for our next camping trip or like caravan trip, we are just gonna let Nelly keep going until she's absolutely exhausted. We're gonna do like bath and put her in her pajamas and stuff quite early on in the evening, like have tea and then do bath and then put her in her pajamas, but then just let her still play and things until almost until she crashes, and then give her her milk and she can go to bed then, kind of thing, rather than trying to get her to go to bed when the campsite is still quite lively. What's in your toddler camping kit? Anything you wouldn't camp without now. Obviously the playpen, like I mentioned. I would also say a flask, because they're so good at filling with hot water and then you can quickly warm a bottle. Like, there's so many uses for it, like quickly help fill up a bath with warm water, or just like a bowl for a strip wash or whatever. Like, they're so handy, because let's face it, toddlers especially do not have patience. They are not going to wait the 5 minutes it takes to boil a camping kettle, or even 10 minutes sometimes, you know. So yeah, I'd probably say that. I'd also say lots of toys. I think from watching and asking other people as well, I think a lot of people forget the toy element. They think 1 or 2 toys is going to suffice, and it's not, because you get bored of it. So yeah, lots of a mixture of toys, and then just get 1 or 2 out at a time and rotate them. A nightlight, I'd say, be it battery powered, or if you're lucky enough to have like electric, then obviously that helps. But you've got to think they're in an environment that they don't know, and they are going to be pretty scared. In a sense, they know that you're with them, but it's not going to help, because they're out of the environment that they were in. So yeah, definitely something that just casts a little low light, I think definitely helps. Would you recommend taking a toddler to places like holiday parks or festivals? Absolutely. Like, me and Ash always said we weren't going to stop doing stuff just because we had Nelly, and I'm so glad we did, because we've made so many memories. Like, Nelly has a whale of a time, and actually I find that I enjoy those places more with Nelly in tow, because she just adds that extra element, that extra dimension of fun and happiness and memories, and you interact with more people because you've got a toddler, without a doubt, and you get freebies. Like, Nellie's got so many freebies, I'm so jealous. Last year she got like a patch set that they were only giving out to like kids, and I was like, oh, I want one. But yeah, so absolutely still take them, just bearing in mind that it won't be the same experience as what you would have had previously. It's very different. Like, previously, for example, at air shows, we would rock up, set up whatever we were staying in, you know, and then relax. Well, the relaxing element doesn't really happen with a toddler or the children. Obviously, when they're a little bit older, they can entertain themselves, but you don't really relax because you're always keeping an eye on them because of the environment you're in. Similarly with the actual shows themselves, like I used to set up my chair, set up my camera, film from the start to the end, or take photos, or go and have a look around. But it's a quick look around, you know, quickly pop to a section, look around and come back before the flying starts. Whereas now nothing is quick, and you don't have that luxury of just doing your own thing. So that's all I would say, is just bear in mind, still take them, but just don't expect it to be the same as what it was pre-kids, because it's not. How do you handle naps and bedtimes while you're away or on holiday? Well, I've kind of mentioned that. We've just decided to go down the route of keep going until she crashes, which obviously long term would never be sustainable, but for a few days or a week or something, like, that's just what we're going to do. To be honest, it's the only way that we found of being able to do it. Potentially she may fall asleep in the pushchair if we're on the move, but that's not a guarantee. So yeah, it's probably just going to be waiting until she crashes and burns, which she did at Midlands. I think, I don't know if the Midlands vlog has gone up or not yet, because as I film this I haven't actually edited it together, but I think I got footage of Nelly asleep in the tent when we were at the air show, because we had like a little pop-up tent. I think I got the footage. She literally just like made a crying noise, like a little whimper, laid down. She'd been eating, so it wasn't like she was just like hurting herself or nothing like that. She'd eaten something, made a little whimper, and I thought, oh, is she, you know, is it her tooth or something? She finished eating it, showed me her mouth, went like that, and then just lay down and fell asleep. She literally passed out pretty much just from being tired. You know, and she slept for a good hour like that. So yeah, I think that's the only way we're going to do it, I think. How are you finding going to air shows with a toddler in tow? Do you find it hard to still get aviation footage or content while looking after your little one? I really like taking Nelly to the air shows. Like, she's such a little ray of sunshine, and she gets so excited. Her favourite thing to say, I've got to say it quietly because I don't want her to start shouting it, but her favourite thing to say is plane. And she recognises them. So if she sees a plane, like if it flies over here, she's like, oh, plane. Yesterday I took her to the park, and they had a helicopter land there ready for a show today that we're going to. And she was going, look, plane, 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 plane. The other day I said to her, what did she want to watch? And it was plane. So she's definitely in her plane mad era at the minute. But yeah, it's just so fun taking her, and all the air crews like make a fuss of her, and she gives them like the funniest looks. She's like, why are you making a fuss of me? Yeah, so I do really enjoy it, and it's nice to see it through her eyes. It definitely adds something special. In terms of the content that I create, it's harder, and there's definitely a lot more videos with Nelly either talking, whimpering, crying in the background. I'm not like ignoring her. There's always somebody looking after her, don't worry. That's what grandparents are for. Yeah, mum quite often looks after her because mum and dad often come to shows with us. If not, me and Ash tag team it, especially if we're there for more than one day. I'll have a list of what I want to film, and then we just tick off the list. And if it's something I don't need to film, I'll take over. If it's something Ash wants to take photos of, then I know it's my time to do it, you know. And sometimes Nelly just wants me, and that's all right, you know. There's nothing more important than Nelly, so as long as she's happy and healthy and enjoying it, then that's all that matters. Will your little one grow up watching planes like you do? Well, yeah, I've kind of already mentioned that one, and I think she will. If she decides when she's older she doesn't want to, then fair enough. She'll just have to be farmed out to another family member while we go off and to an air show or some type of show. But yeah, there'll be plenty of people that will be happy to do that, so I'm not worried on that score. How do you split content between your main channel and your aviation one? Well, obviously my main channel is this one, and I film a lot about mum life, about family life, and things like that. So I kind of film that. And then the aviation clips that you see, I filmed more so for my aviation content, but I just put in a few snippets here and there, but enough that it's not aviation heavy, if that makes sense. I've got an idea about what I want to do with the Midlands vlog, so hopefully you'll see what I mean in that vlog. Would you ever do a day in the life again with a voiceover like your VE Day vlog? I love the style of it. Thank you. I would love to. Yeah, I really would love to, but I think it's very few and far between because, like I mentioned earlier in this video, a lot of time and effort and sweat and tears went into it. So it's not something that I could do on the regular basis because I think that would just be spreading myself way too thin. However, yeah, I would like to. So yeah, watch this space. What's your favourite video you've ever made and why? I don't even know what it's called. I'll try and leave a screenshot of the video and maybe a link down below if you want to go and watch it. But it is a video of the week after Ria. It would have been 2022, I think, or 23. 20, I don't know which year it is now. Anyway, I'll leave a link down below. And I remember one clip of it was us on our way down to Blue Anchor, and I was just filming myself and my hair was blowing, and it was, to me, it's a turning point of a video. It was a major turning point in my life. I had made some tough choices, and I was, unbeknownst to me, I was waiting for a call back from the police to do with the abuse that I was getting, especially at Ria, which I've spoken all about over on TikTok. So yeah, it was like a pivotal moment for me because it was like, this is the video that is now the start of your new life, because I felt so battered and bruised mentally within that video. I couldn't really speak on camera. I remember trying to film bits and try not to cry. I remember feeling so anxious, feeling so helpless, the situation I found myself in, how was I going to get out of it? And yeah, it just, that week was the week where I started to heal in a sense, because I started to think about what I wanted my life to be like, what I wasn't going to allow people to do, say, or treat me like. So yeah, I feel like it was just like the opening the door to what I become now, if that makes sense. So I'd probably say that's my favourite video of all time that I've ever done. There are videos that I've created, like Nellie's first week. That's such a memorable video. Like, I've watched it countless times. I'm probably the reason for half the views, to be fair. You know, and like just simple ones. Some of the like vlogs I used to film when me and Ash were in the pub, like watching them back, I cry with laughter. Like, yeah, you know, there's so many good ones, for me anyway. Even ones that I did previously, which unfortunately I haven't got a lot of the footage. Like, I remember years and years ago there was a vlog that I did. It was a Christmas vlog. I want to say it was like Christmas or Vlogmas week 1, because I used to do it a week at a time because the Wi-Fi was so bad where I was too. But we got lost in Cleve Woods, and ended up in the middle of a paintballing field. Whilst the paintballers were there, which oh, like the thought of what could have gone wrong. But we didn't know it was paintballing until after. And we just had these like shots, and yeah, that's one of my favourite in a sense, because I can laugh about it now, but I was very much wanting to cry at the time. And yeah, if you've been an original subscriber, you may well remember that vlog of me getting lost, or us getting lost in Cleve Woods with Trixie. And I turned up in a paintballing section that very much looked like an apocalypse. Yeah, so you know, there's been loads of memories over the years and so many special moments, and I'm so glad that I've captured them. But yeah, I'd probably say that video of me starting to heal, of me starting to become the person that I am now. Yeah, I feel like I became a grown-up from that point on. Like, I was a grown-up. I've been a grown-up for a long time. I mean, I'm 31, so, you know, I'm not exactly a teenager. But I feel like I just knew that I could create my own destiny, and I could change the course of my life to what I wanted it to be, and who I wanted within that life, and who very much needed to stay away. Last question. Would you ever let your child be more involved in your channel when they're older? No, I don't think I would. Like, I've seen some more family vloggers rather than more mum life vlogs, but more family vloggers that they'll upload 2 videos a week, but then they'll let their child film a video and upload it. But no, I don't think I would. Like, if Nelly or any other children that we may go on to have decided that she wanted to do YouTube, that's fine when she's old enough, and it can be her decision. And obviously I'll help her. Like, I don't want to say teach her the tricks, but I'll help her with editing and things like that. But she has to be fully aware of, once that content is out there, it's out there. And I think as a child, they're not. If you think back to how you were as a child, that versus how you were as a teenager versus how you are as an adult, some of the choices you made as a child, you absolutely would not want on the internet as an adult. And I think people of my generation and above have been very lucky that social media wasn't a thing when we were children. So we had a carefree childhood in that sense, whereas these days it is very, very difficult to navigate with like social media, with, you know, accounts that are there to destroy people, not build them up, with websites. We all know of a certain website that's been in the news recently, which was built on destroying people's lives and their livelihoods and their mental health. You know, and that particular website is getting its comeuppance. You know, the owner has been outed, and I would imagine in the not too distant future, a lot of the tattlers, shall we call them, will also be outed. And that much is evident because of the amount of people that are trying to erase everything they've ever put on that site. But sadly, nothing is ever gone for good on the internet, as they will find out when they get their comeuppance. But unfortunately, there's always going to be websites like that. There's always going to be people like the people that are on those sites. Even if it's just a social media account, even if it's not a whole dedicated website, unfortunately, there are people like that who just want to bring others down. So yeah, it is a very dangerous world, and until my children are adult enough to understand that and to accept that, in a sense, you know, you want a world where that isn't the case, but sadly that is the case. That is the world we live in. So until they are of a mind that they know that, then no, they're not helping out on my YouTube. And if they choose to want to do something like that, that's fine, but it's on their own account, because by that point they'll be their own person, and anything that gets put out that is of their making, of their doing, of their opinions, is then on their own platform, and they have to take accountability and responsibility for anything that may upset or offend, or if they later want it taken down, but it's already out there for the world to see, then they have to accept that. And that's part of life's learning journey. So yeah, that would be my thoughts on that. But thank you so much for watching. I know it's been a long rambly one, and yeah, I will see you very soon. Bye bye.